opportunity for a bad zone here or there, so you can be able to get some good points on the board.
You bring up a really good point. Creating that cushion across not just today, but all 4 days is going to be vital.
We'll see here, everybody, as match number 6, the final match of day number 1 here of the PMGC Global Finals. Taking it to Airgale, and as I look here at my screen, we can see a beautiful flight path right here, pretty much right down the center of Airgale.
It's bang on, going from north down on the southwest side, ending up on Stalbar on the northeast. It's going to be easy for A1 to get the Severny, 4 AM to Yasnaya. We'll see Navi go to North George, all good in the hood. But what I do find interesting is that it's an early drop by Futbolist to go on the western side of the map. They don't normally go there. Is that because they're looking to try and switch things up compared to how they are in the overall standings?
They must have seen something. I mean, these guys, we know that all these teams did a ridiculous amount of research going into this tournament. You know, they watched all the VODs for the past tournament. They've also been playing a whole bunch of scrims recently, like I mentioned, on the Zute scrim. So they must have realized that, hey, guess what? This side of the map, it's relatively open. And right now, I mean, it is. They're going to be able to loot this entire area relatively simply.
Being able to adapt is so important across all these games from one day to another. It is absolutely vital. When you look at teams around them, they do have plenty of space, like you mentioned, but the current leaders of the pack, Klas Digital Athletics, are down to the southeast of them. Phase 1 has popped up, and it's a bit of a tricky Phase 1 compared to the playing path, because although the playing path was relatively kind of central, that Phase 1 is on the southeast.
Yeah, I got a nice little east side circle here. So all these teams are going to have to get a little bit of a move on it. We saw that beautiful graphic there on the right-hand side of the top 5 fraggers. And, you know, the #1 team right now, Klas Digital Athletics, Silas, #1 right now in kills. So this guy has been performing really well. When I got to talk to him, out of all the members, I ain't going to lie, he was the most serious of the whole group. I mean, he was just kind of like really like, yo, this is my answer, and that's it. And guess what? I mean, he's playing seriously, but oh goodness, Konina Power, what is it? I get a little bit of deja vu here? Yeah, I mean, what is going on? They're getting caught out, just unfortunately not having that. Oh, and he gets run over by the buggy. Frozen, punished once again.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. But just as we see one player being taken out, Joker, along with the rest of the Abrupt crew, comes in and takes down a member of Nova eSports.
I mean, man, these people are just getting knocked out left and right here. So unfortunate drops here at the start of this last match on the side of Konina Power and NOVA-XQF. They're going to have to deal with a 3-man for the rest of the game here. We'll see how they're going to make some adjustments due to that right there.
And look, great adaptation by Abrupt players working as a team in that area as well. And that's where sometimes it is a little more important. We've seen 2 examples of dropping as a full squad or as a 2-2, let's say, compared to dropping as a 1-1-1 split or a 3-1 split. Because losing that first player early on affects your morale. It kind of affects your attitude as a team. And of course, it changes up the play style you have to put down for the rest of the game.
And look, I was just talking about him earlier, as we can see this beautiful graphic right here. Silas just straight crushing it for this Digital Athletics team. 12 kills to his name by himself. The longest distance kill, 268 meters. So, I mean, man, these guys from long range are just so on point.
Long range, close range, whatever the range, they'll take the shots. They'll dominate in the end. And one thing that you'd mentioned previously is the fact that Digital Athletics have been able to get results despite being put down to 1 player. And I think a really strong element of that, which really makes a team an actual team, is that when a player dies, they're able to boost the morale of the rest of the team, right? They're able to be an extra pair of eyes. They're able to say, hey, look, be careful here, keep them calm. And that really makes a really strong team.
So important, so important. I always said back when when I was playing, if a teammate died, I was like, your job is not done yet.
Exactly.
I mean, if you have a teammate who may be a little struggling when it comes to communication, if you are a player that got thirsted earlier, you should be on that guy, giving all the call-outs for him. So all he can focus is just on gunning. And speaking of gunning, you got Joker catching, you know, that King there in the earlier of the match. So he got that nice finish. But, I mean, these guys, I mean, you got to be on point. You got to be, you know, just, you got to be a team. That's what's most important here at this high level.
Now, we've seen Aerowolf really utilize the fact that they're the only team in Military Ireland having 2 team players in the base and 2 players in Nova. Of course, their rotation onto the mainland is going to be incredibly tricky, HotJukes, and what might be best for them to pull off is wait for phase 2, maybe even phase 3, and shift on over to the western bridge, depending on where these circles go.
Yeah, we'll see what they opt to do right now. We can see RRQ holding down this hill right alongside Pachinki. So, you know, we normally see RRQ head on over straight to Potato Hill in this kind of zone, but they opt to go a little bit more central and taking this location right by this shack. This is a really, really strong spot to hold. And, man, you see, look at these shots coming from Alpha 7 with that AK red dot from long range, just putting on that pressure. And it looks like it's going to work because RRQ, they're on their way out.
And it's important when you are in that area to hold on to...
Hold on for dear life.
Well, I'll give that an 8 out of 10.
That was
I'll give that an 8 out of 10. But to continue on, it is important for Alpha 7's position that they look to actually be controlling, because if a team rocks up too close to you on that kind of flat area, you only have that shack as a defense point and maybe that low ground dip beside it. Other than that, you're kind of very heavily exposed.
Yeah, you can see right now D2E getting caught out by Nova. Oh, and look at those shots through the smoke. That is going to get that confirm right there. And you know that's going to make Nova really happy, because RRQ, such an aggressive team, and if you're able to kind of sneak away a kill, especially on a monster player like Order, I mean, that's going to be really good for them.
Looking at where teams are across this phase 1 circle as we're halfway through the blue zone closing in. BTR in the center around the farm terrain. Konina Power are still in Milta. You have Secret Jin around the shelter terrain with 4 AM rotating down from Yasnaya. A1 still on the outside of the circle up in the north coming from Severny now. And then when you look onto the west, Team Seeker rotating through Headshot Valley.
Yeah, you know, A1, they've been really amazing to watch here, I think, so far, because they, you know, snuck in here into the finals in 16th place, and they have been performing pretty steadily so far. Ray Z with a nice little laydown shot. And for those of you guys that are just starting to get into the game, when you hit that laydown, it reduces your recoil even more. So you're able to get that really, really nice spray from long range.
You also have to be careful with the timing, right? Because if it's in the wrong situation, you're prone down. Getting back up is obviously slower. It leaves you a little bit more exposed. But in that position that Klas had, it was the perfect time to pull that off. Navi rotating on the northern side of the river from George Paul, which I think is quite clever because there's a much higher chance that no teams are going to be there. Are they going to opt for the long rotation on the north of Yasnaya or come in between school and Yasnaya?
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them if they want to err on the side of caution right now. Just play it really, really carefully. We can see right now this graphic. We got Ice coming up here. 10 kills to his name. Got a nice kill from 207 meters. 1,500 damage so far. By the way, if you get a knock, that is 100 damage. So he's definitely been putting in work for this team.
It's an average of over 300 damage per game. For one player, that's not to be sniffed at. Of course, being able to convert those into kills is also going to be a bigger benefit to your team in terms of the overall standings. A1 now rotating a little bit later than I would like to have seen them pull off, especially when you looked at the previous Erangel game when they were able to catch out 4 AM at one point, but stopping where they are is relatively safe.
Yeah, stopping by this little Alamo right here, so they're going to be able to get this position. Now, they are led, of course, by Sinister. That's their IGL. And you can see him always leading that charge, getting that intel. And he's going to have to get some more intel because guess what? Zone number 1 has popped, Imperium. What do you see right off the bat?
Man, it's a central phase 2 shift. It's nothing crazy. You do still have a little bit of Military Island in play. And what worries me is that Aerowolf, instead of opting to go for the Western Bridge rotation, which I would recommend, they're opting to play by the Eastern Bridge. Now, maybe that's just to get information across the way, but executing that rotation early on this phase 2 would definitely set themselves up for a better edge of circle play coming into phase 3.
That's true, but guess what? Crossing that bridge, it's scary, especially with all these teams here. So I can't blame them if they're going to go ahead and play it slower. We'll have to see how they opt to do it, though. One thing I'm looking at, by the way, if you guys look at the bottom left of your screen, we were talking about it earlier, Navi. I mean, it looks like they opted to go with that real long rotation to Yasnaya, so we know what their decision was. And like I mentioned, I mean, especially when you got this much on the line, I don't blame them. I mean, play it safe.
Honestly, it actually shows me the shades of how Navi played in the EMEA League. In the EMEA League, they would play these deeper rotations that you would think, oh, is that a bit risky? But it's kind of quite intelligent. It's very calculative. And at the end of the day, when you look at where they are in the overall standings, third with 55 points, it speaks for itself.
Yeah, Law got us some nice taps right there. One of the members from Power 888 really low. We're going to try to catch that other bike as well. And man, those bikes, I mean, you are just zooming on by, and they're just trying to find their next location right now. We'll see where they opt to go to. But, oh, looks like they're going to run right into A1. And A1 is going to settle that really quickly and take out those two members on the bike.
Like, that's a risk you take for rotating so deep into the circle on phase 2. Come on. Yeah, okay, the plane path was a little bit to the west, but there's most likely, 95% chance already going to be teams settled in that area.
And to be honest with you, I mean, I think we see this a little bit because it's game 6. Like after so many games, you kind of go back into little old bad habits and just kind of full send it. But you have to have that discipline. Exactly. I mean, there's $700,000 on the line just for first place. MVP is $15,000. That's nothing to shake your head at right there. So you got to be able to play it tight 24/7 at this high level.
Aerowolf have been able to make their way across the Eastern Bridge relatively untouched. I think part of that is because there's so many teams clustered in the center of this phase 2 from Milta all across the farm to Shelter, so they're kind of not really focusing on camping the bridge, and that's fair play. Credit to Aerowolf for recognizing that.
I mean, that's so clutch. I mean, the fact that they're able to get across this bridge this early on is just straight huge for them. They did not want to get stuck on the other side of that. So they're going to be in a pretty darn good position. Zone number 2, it's about to pop on over, and we're going to find out right now where all these squads are going to have to start heading to.
4 a.m. looking pretty good on the northern side, and we do see that shift up north for phase 3. So the teams down south like Aerowolf, like BTR, Dish Athletics are definitely going to have a little bit of a trickier job, although they are still inside the circle. It's 4 a.m. that are laughing on their current spot.
Yeah, they're sitting pretty right now. I'll tell you what, Aerowolf, I mean, they're pretty happy that they got across that bridge early because now they're going to be able to start heading into the circle right now. And we just see every single team. I mean, they're in their vehicles. They are on the move, just trying to find their final position here. But it looks like Nova ended up finding Alpha 7 as Mapio's down Swaggin, switching to FPP, is going to get caught on that off angle there. Nova, always so good when they're playing separate, just utilizing each other, covering each other's angles. I mean, when they are set up like this, they're still so deadly.
And that's where the 2-2 split from Alpha was always going to be tricky in that area, like I mentioned, because if a team gets too close to you, there's a much higher chance they're going to get punished. Credit to Nova as well, because they really pushed heavily on that area and gave no time for the players that did go down from Alpha 7 to respond.
Nova's such a tricky team, I think, to play against because like they're the best squad, I think, in the game when it comes to playing separately, because it's almost like they're just constantly baiting you out. Like, yeah, we saw earlier in that Sandhawk match when Alpha 7 smelled a member all by his lonesome. They went, they jumped, and they pounced it. That was from BTR. But Nova here, they're like, okay, order's a little pushed up. Let's go ahead and push on them. But guess what? Though they're just covering those back angles, putting so much suppressive fire, and the Alpha 7's like, you know what? Let's just get on out of here.
A lot of that comes down to core experience. But Dish Athletics, up on the hills, looking over in the sightlines of NOVA-XQF. They have to be careful of a team behind them. That is RRQ. They're fighting for the top spot right now as well, which is ironic within itself. I mean, looking still with 4 a.m. in the northern side of this phase 3. Again, looking so good on that compound. just the opposite side of the road to match.
And the funny thing is, I mean, they just traded spots with RRQ. RRQ was just in this location a little earlier on. They opted to go down to those houses down the hill, but Klas says, you know what, we like that spot. We're going to hold it for now. And Nova, they just threw out some smokes, just playing this a little defensive. They just kind of want to hold this position for now.
A1 kept on top of the hills of the logging area overlooking shelter. Now, that's a good space to be, but what they've allowed is that they've allowed Aerowolf to creep in behind them in the circle. The good thing for A1 is that Power Triple Eight and Konina Power have also made their way towards that area.
Yeah, we'll see right now what they opt to do because this circle is about to shift. Everybody has just been kind of getting some intel right now, holding their positions. But, you know, once it starts hitting Zone 4, Zone 5, that's when the action really starts to happen. And as you can see here, nice central shift in zone. So it is dead center and 4 a.m. Navi sitting pretty.
Yeah, but Navi right now are 2-2, and I would recommend that they look to join up as a 3-1 because you're going to have teams breaching in that area, and I find it very hard to believe that they'll hold on to that one area as a two-man team.
I agree. 3-1 right now would be definitely advantageous. You got to start standing up and just playing keep away. You don't want any team to push up on you for free. We'll see how the rest of the squads decide to push up into this zone as Aerowolf, they are on that southeastern edge of the zone. So you start seeing them throw out those smokes, trying to figure out a way into this next position. So many teams gatekeeping them, though.
I think this is the calm before the storm a little bit. We still have 16 teams, 56 players alive. As you mentioned,
that's insane.
Last circle shift was quite central, so it's nothing really super crazy. It's when we get into the blue zone closing at the very end of this phase and teams are maybe hovering on the edge, that's when it becomes harder.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really interesting zone right here, right beside shelter. You still got a few couple spots I see on the map still available. The OB dip is still open. It's going to be interesting to see where these teams ought to line up, but they're so good, especially at getting all those vehicles, you know, being able to set up cover pretty much anywhere. And Bigetron, I mean, they have a lot on the line right now. They got to play this real carefully. That was a nice knock there from Aerowolf.
That was real nice knock from Aerowolf onto Konina Power on the eastern side of the circle.
Oh, look at that pressure come out. Dante, the main fragger from A1, laying it down right now onto AR. They're getting just pinched from so many teams. I think it's just Spav, left for the team. He's going to have to try and get over there and get those reses going. Yeah, you can see him just throwing out all the smokes. Oh, hitting the vehicle. That's not exactly where he wanted to throw it, but it looks like it is going to work out for now.
And here's the thing, the position that A1 hold on to is where two of the players in Navi were consumed, so that joining together by Navi has benefited both them and also A1.
Yeah, holding these shelter spots are always so strong because you can always go down the stairs, get those reses, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to be doing right here. Dante is really pushed up. It's going to be up to him to really put that suppressive fire, but you got 4 a.m. as well on the other side. Zeus, they're just trying to get right in the edge of that circle. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and drop right there, throw out those smokes, and just hold it for now.
Then we do see on the kill feed, Nova are taking a fight against Abrupt players. Digital Athletics are also around the area, so we'll have to see how that does pan out. As Joker is knocked down, Leon is on the backside, but that sniper tower is helping Nova stopping of getting third party by Digital Athletics for now.
They're holding it down. They're holding it down right there. Vehicle explosion from Ray Z from Klas Digital Athletics. That's going to pop on an order, and they're pushing this. And they're coming in hard. Oh, not able to get those shots onto Jimmy. He is spotting it, though. I mean, that's the thing, is that you got so many angles when you're on the outside. If you're Jimmy, you can only peek those two windows. Ray Z realizes that, and he's got his eyes locked on that location.
Thing is, do they know that Leon is there? That is the question. Two players of Klas are actually wrapping around to flank on the underside. Leon is going to be spotted out. That's a nice push. Great play by Klas Digital Athletics.
Beautiful execution right there. They're going to go ahead and get those really nice off angles. They're pushing together as a duo right now and just surrounding this entire area. And then here comes Ray Z. Oh, what a shot right there. Shutting down Jimmy, and there goes NOVA-XQF in 15th.
That is the current leaders of the PMGC finals, and it speaks for itself. Seal them all the way was actually in the circle, not doing anything, holding onto a core position. So that was a 3-man push from Klas.
And that was against NOVA-XQF. I mean, one of the most popular teams in PUBG Mobile. I mean, these guys are doing it with some swagger, with style here in the PMGC. Love to see that from this team. We'll see how they end up doing as the rest of the match ensues here. Konina Power, they're holding down the Wizard Tower. You got Secret Jin, holding down those buildings. Zeus just full sending it, trying to do anything they can. It's the last match. They want to survive, but they are just having this full send it, and they are getting beat up by all these teams gatekeeping them.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. You go for the desperate rotations, but when you're going in blind, you're going to get punished. And in the end, I believe it's just Godless that's left standing. But he's taking a bit of a fight against RRQ. Got one knock. He's not going to find the other. It is Bear 11 cleaning things up.
I mean, if you make a rotation like that, you're going to have to make some player sacrifices. And just right there, they sacrificed their whole team. But Ryzen was waiting there with that 8x SKS. Is going to get the finish. And there goes RRQ out in 12th.
And BTR still up as a full squad, although Microboy has been knocked down. Most likely he's not going to get revived up, but their next battle is Alpha 7.
And Alpha 7 doing exactly what they're supposed to. It was able to shut down one of their members right there. So that's going to really help them out in this fight. And now they're starting to put the pressure onto Zuxi. He's outside, going to jump in the window. Oh, getting nice pre-fire there from Senatex. Now switching to the DP, and he's going to catch him slipping. Last remaining member, here he comes. Senatex, and that's it, done. So Bigetron taken out as well.
But why was he going in late? He actually should have gone past Alpha 7 because he wasn't going to be able to do anything. But it is what it is. It does what it does. And Alpha A1 are going up against Navi.
Yeah, we'll see right now how they're going to opt to play it right now. Navi is starting to throw them smokes, trying to go ahead and hold on. They do have this edge of this circle, so they want to hold this position, buying some time right now. Anything they could possibly do to get these resets. You can see there, Maddox throwing, I believe, a nade onto Sinister. It's going to be a little bit short. That vehicle is blown up, so he doesn't have to worry about that. That is their IGL. You know, he's giving those calls out to his main fragger. He's knocked and finished, so now it's all up to Dante, the thumbs player from A1, to hold on for his squad.
You got third partying from Alpha 7. You could even have third partying from Team Secret Jin. And all the while, in the center of the circle is the last player of Power AAA Corp I with Klas still up as a full squad on the West.
You know, all eyes are on him. Oh, Salim, please. Oh, Car 98, 8X at the end. Oh, that's a dream, baby. Get those. You're going to try to, but nope, switches to the M4. Going to try to figure it out. He's trying to blow up that vehicle. Yeah, it doesn't want it to injure him just in case, so he's going to get that right there. He does have Razy and Silas up on top, but this is a really steep slope right now. It's really hard to peek from the top of that mountain. You're going to give away your position. I mean, look at that dossier on the top left. It is getting blown up, shredded right now as 4 angry men. They're pissed, and they're trying to get into this circle.
But here's the thing, at the end of the day, as easier as it is for 4 angry men to play up that hill compared to Klas are in the circle, 4 AM are not there for checkmate to Klas.
That's true. That's true. I mean, Klas Digital Athletics got to give them the edge, I think, in this position, especially with the zone shifting on over to their side as well. You can see Senatexa there with that DP. A lot of these players, I mean, they love that DP here at the end, just lasering, trying to put more pressure onto these squads. Here comes Navi. Oh, man, and they are just getting laser beam from the top of the hill.
Man, what else can you do? They're just going to try and go for the push. If Old Boy can get the heal off, get back into Dacier, he could make something work. But Corpai, as I said, the last player of Power AAA are stopping them dead in their tracks.
And he realizes, hey, I got the zone. We can get some really good points right here. And this is the last remaining member. So he's putting himself at risk, but he has got a really good position. He realizes it. So he's going aggressive. Can't say I blame him. We'll see how it plays off. But this is the big battle. The big battle between Klas Digital Athletics and 4 Angry Men, the 2 top teams right here. Can they get it finished as 4 Angry Men smokes out all over the place? I mean, look at this. It is just a battle of the grenades trying to open this up, get a little breathing room for their team.
How have Klas allowed 4 Angry Men to not only get into the circle, but get to a point where they can actually take the engagement onto Klas?
I'll tell you why. It's because it's 4 Angry Men. That's why. I mean, when it comes to them, they are so good at being able to press in these situations. I mean, they live on the edge of the circle, pushing into these kind of spots. So, you know, right now, still full laid down and just trying to sneak in.
I think what helped 4 Angry Men is that there's less teams on the eastern side of the circle.
That's going to give him a lot of breathing room right now. Look at this. Oh, boy. We saw him do some magic early on. Can he get this repeat? He has to be in this 1v1. He's going to throw a nade. Oh, a little too far. Is he going to get the spot? Scorpy laid down. Oh, the Uzi. Just too strong. Oh, boy. This guy's got ice water in his veins. Always able to hit those clutch shots. And now he's got this whole side to himself.
But look at Alpha 7, they stay quiet, and they could come in as Klas and 4 Angry Men start the fight.
Oh, and look at this. I mean, Old Boy as well. I mean, this is just an insane battle to finish things off here. Sinhei's going to get those 2 points right there, and there's Old Boy spotting him. Get some nice pieces. Oh, he's 1 HP. Can he get the final one? But is made it out, and that is going to be Navi eliminated in 4th. Huge clutch shots from 4 Angry Men, and still whole squad alive.
4 Angry Men started the day with the chicken dinner. Are they going to end the day with the chicken dinner, or can Alpha 7 claim the top spot?
We'll see. I mean, they got the whole squad. All 4 Angry Men are up right now. But guess what? Alpha 7, they got Papa Blue to their side, and that is going to be huge right now. We'll see how they utilize it, because 4 Angry Men have to run out in the open, but they got to take out Silas first, and that is going to be it. That's going to be a huge break for them. So now, last 2 teams remaining here in the final day of the PMGC finals.
I know it's a 2v4, but honestly, this is Alpha 7's game, because they have the low ground, they have the circle. In my eyes, this is theirs to lose.
Well, guess what? I mean, it is Alpha 7's game, but it is also 4 Angry Men's game, because we just saw them push from outside a circle. They're so good at doing this, and you can just see them creeping up little by little. I love these offensive smokes. That is going to block their sight lines, and they're hitting already some insane shots. Alpha 7 is feeling the pressure.
And I love the fact that 4 Angry Men, when they throw the smokes, they're not staying quiet. They're actually using those smokes to then peek to the side and get those shots off to suppress Alpha 7.
I guarantee you, one bad smoke from 4 Angry Men on themselves could almost kill that entire team. But that's such good discipline. They're working so well together. Alpha 7's throwing all the utility they have to kind of stop the pressure right now. But look at these guys. I mean, 4 Angry Men just creeping up so slowly on them.
Oh, Saki with the Groza.
Oh, and he gets him. Look at that. The Groza showing up here in the end game. They realize there's only 1 player left, and that is going to be it. Hasaki